That's for sure.
But like, it is.
Well, I guess this is a good segue into our topic then,
Okay.
since we're talking about podcasts.
Why not? But
So to answer your question, I think yes and no. I think HD would have to be more. I mean, podcasts. Sorry, podcasts would have to be more accessible than the way they are right now. Right now, the only way I think that I can reliably get podcasts is through iTunes, and I know it's because I'm a Mac person. I'm sure there's many other ways, but those
yeah, I was just
many
saying,
other
man.
ways
Like,
aren't
I'm subscribed to a million podcasts on YouTube.
on YouTube.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, but then you have to kind of go to the site. It doesn't really download by itself. They're not. It's not goof-proof, you know.
I don't need it to be goof-proof.
Well, it's like, I would like to come to my computer and then say, I want to watch this podcast. Boom. I can watch it. I don't have to
Two
click
clicks.
on it.
I click the little link that
subscribe.
says YouTube. You have to
But
subscribe.
No. What you're talking about isn't really a podcast. You're talking about streaming net video. That's not the same as a podcast.
What's the
A
difference?
podcast is a program that you download through a newsreader or a subscriber thing, and then you watch it.
So why do you have to download
outside.
it to make it a podcast?
Because that's what a podcast is. You're talking about net streaming, which isn't the same thing. It's talking about streaming video. The thing you see like on
I know the terminology, but why does it matter whether you like stream it or download it? Like it's the
because
same
that's
thing.
the difference.
But why does it matter? It's watching it.
Well, then you're just talking about net streaming. Then you're talking about online video. You're not talking about podcasts.
But it's the same thing. Like
It's not the same thing.
if I click something on net video streaming, I see it right then. If I click on something that's a podcast, I see it right then. Like, what's the difference?
Okay, well, one of the differences is a podcast you can take outside and watch it some other time.
No, I
at
can't. I
your
don't have any portable
convenience.
media devices that play podcasts.
Well, then you're not talking about the same thing I'm talking about. You're talking about net streaming, which you have to be in a computer that's connected. I'm talking about podcasts that you can listen outside or
But I don't do
at your
that.
own leisure. Huh?
I don't do that, and I'm sure there's lots of other
But
people
that's
who don't.
what podcasts are, Danson.
But for me, the podcast it would be the same then, is what I'm saying, because I don't do that. So.
Like you're talking about vlogs then. The vlogs are different than podcasts.
But even the podcasts I'm subscribed to, I only watch them on my computer.
Right, and I'm talking about podcasts that you can listen to in your car.
I don't have a car.
That's not the point. That's what podcasts are. I'm talking about podcasts. Podcast is a digital media that you can download and then experience at your own time offline, wherever.
I don't have any other way to experience it but online.
Well, then we're not talking about the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah.
You're talking about net programming, which is different.
But what I'm saying is it's not different for me, and it's not different for a lot of people, I don't think.
No, the whole terminology is different, though. Well, see, now we're like completely off because you have a different definition of podcast than I do.
Well, I know what the technical definition of a podcast is, but I'm just saying, for me and a lot of other people, it's probably not different. Because I have broadband internet, I can watch streaming HD video, and
Right, but you see, I watch video. Okay, the difference for me is I like podcasts because I can listen to them at work, and I'm obviously not connected online at work, right? So that's why I like podcasts, because I can listen to them at work, I can store them, I can play them on my iPod if I had an iPod that plays video. I can watch them at my own leisure.
right, but not everybody does that. You get what I'm trying to say?
No, I get what you're saying, but we're talking about, our topic is how to make podcasts profitable, and
Whoa, we got to that topic now?
yeah.
I think HD is cool.
Yes, HD is cool. Well, I don't know about HD. Well, the whole thing is, how do you...
Okay,
See,
here's the thing.
you don't-
Here's the thing. You gotta have a gimmick. You gotta have a gimmick. And I think that's
I
actually
agree.
something we don't have. What's our gimmick? Nothing.
We don't have a gimmick because we don't have the budget. We are not in proximity enough to really plan out anything elaborate. We can't go out and just shoot some goofy video and put it on in the beginning of the show. It's kind of hard for us. We kind of don't have a gimmick.
We need a gimmick, man. We need a gimmick. Like,
well, let's do a naked podcast.
You first. But wait, didn't you say you were gonna do that last week?
I'm not wearing pants right now, if that makes a difference.
Okay, there you go. No pants, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna put a bunch of lotion right now.
Stop. But anyways, we need a gimmick, man. Like, seriously, like, are you really opening lotion?
Yes.
Ah! Anyways.
You have a different definition of podcast than I do, though.
But
that
do you
bugs
expect people would have, like, take us with them? Is that what you're hoping?
No, the thing with podcasts is that you don't need an active video connection. There won't be any buffering because it's already downloaded.
But I never have buffering either way.
This is the thing with podcasting that I think is the biggest obstacle, is the way of getting it. A lot of people have asked me, oh, how do you get video content for your PSP, which I use? And I'm like, oh, podcast. And then they have no idea how to get them. I just say, oh, go to iTunes, click on podcast. And they're like, what? And they come back and they just forget about it. It's too hard for them. It's not accessible.
Let me give you a little secret. There's a lot of stupid people on planet Earth.
No, that's the point. You need something simple. You need someone who will just
YouTube!
say, okay,
YouTube's like brainless.
But that's not a podcast. That's video streaming. That's online video. That's not the same.
But it's the same for me and many other people.
It's not this. No, you don't know. If you want to watch a podcast on the train, how are you going to do that?
I can't, even if I wanted to. I don't have...
Then you're not watching a podcast. You're just watching online streaming video.
But what I'm saying is the podcast and online streaming video is the same for me because I don't have any portable media device that plays that kind of media.
Okay, but when you talk about online video, that just opens it up, though, to anything and everything. Podcasting is unique in the fact that it is done by probably more amateurs than well, it's a subscription-based thing, but it's also...
But I can subscribe to, like, online video
portable
streaming.
media. Yeah, but you have to go there, you have to wait for it to stream, and
I don't have to wait for it to stream, I have broadband.
It's not yours to have. Podcasts are usually free, they're yours to have, you can go watch them anywhere.
Oh, I
you can
delete
watch
them
over and
afterwards,
over
I don't
again.
want to waste the, what do you call it, space.
Yeah, no, I know, but if you wanted to keep it, you could.
If you want to keep YouTube videos, you can. Pretty easy. Just go to Safari, go to your like active whatever thing, double click it, it downloads it, it's yours.
Yeah, I know, but that's geeky stuff though. No, we're talking about podcasting and how to make it popular, and one of the things is Apple TV kind of had a solution, but nobody wants to spend $200 for something that's has to be, you know, hooked up to the internet, hooked up to the power, and then you kind of have to subscribe. It's a very active process. And I don't know about Xbox, but I know the PlayStation 3 doesn't subscribe to podcasts, which is a pain in the butt. Because I would love to get HD podcasts through the PS3, because I got my high-def monitor on the PS3.
Right. You know, that's actually a good point. One of our other problems is, like, getting noticed or whatever. If you want to be a blog, getting noticed is the big thing, because maybe people are interested in you, but they just don't know you exist.
Right.
So.
And you need a different slant on things, you know? And for a lot of really successful podcasts, it's kind of going where people aren't going, which is like, well, swearing like crazy. One thing, being free with the language, or being kind of free with the alternative views, you know, just talking about them openly.
I mean, if you want to swear, go for it. I personally, not my thing.
No, I mean, there's...
I mean, I swear shit. Look, I just did it, but, like, just going way over the top, like some of those podcasts you see on the net where there's just like this, that, this, it's just like, it just seems like they're not trying to communicate, they're just like swearing to shock people, ooh, or something.
And I've heard one of those. I think I tried a video game podcast one. These guys are just swearing left and right, and afterwards it's like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about because it's so distracting.
I know.
So I'm not like saying, oh, you have to swear to be successful in a podcast, but I think having a slight
gimmick is
lack
what we're
of
getting
control. Yeah, kind of a gimmick, I suppose. And I listen to some really good podcasts, and then there's a lot of people doing podcasts.
There's a lot of people.
a ton of people, and so I, it might remain an amateur medium